Brother Shaolin, fantastic. Dark 30 in the morning or dark 30 at night. On my way to the JOB pretty early this morning. I was thinking about a few things, and I see people's commentary on black people, especially black men. Especially people that are not black. And one of the things that I notice a common thread, it's certainly not every person that comments on black people. And I ain't got no problem with people commenting on black people. That's, hey, free country. Say what you want. I know some black people get offended when you comment on black people and black issues, but I'm not one of them. I just say, you say what you say, I critique what you say, and that's it. You got your opinion, I got mine. But one of the problems that I have, and you know what, and to be honest with you, black people do this too. Black people do this too. To be honest with you, they do it just as much as everybody else. So I'm not really singling out people that are not black. Especially when I hear commentary on black men. A lot of people don't discern. They lump, JoJo and Pookie and Jay Quintavious right in with brothers who don't display that sort of behavior, don't display antisocial behavior. They lump those black people right in there just because they black. They'll lump them right in there, and they don't discern. See, there are different types of black people, it's specifically black men. When you see black men, in jail, the tattooed up braids in their head, acting antisocial, acting all effeminate and emotional. I think Brother Honcho said this one day that when you see these guys shooting each other in the street, those are just a bunch of emotional women with guns. They have penises, but they are just emotional women with guns because they were raised by their mothers. They don't know how to be a man. I think he made that comment. It was something like that. I'm certainly paraphrasing. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it's true. Those guys like that are different from guys like me. Even though we're black, we all got the same black skin and everything. I think it should be pretty easy to discern. I just think people don't want to. They just lazy like that. You know what I'm saying? Most of them know. They know the difference. Just like I know the difference between a punk rock white guy and a straight-laced white guy. I know the difference between that. That there's differences. Well, it's just like in any other race. Black people, we have different people within our race. Okay. This is why when I see this stigma that get put on black men, I fight so hard against it about black men having babies all over the place. And I always say this. Well, first of all, if you look at the numbers, we can go into the numbers. It's really not relative to black men that exist. It's really not that many black men doing that. There's a smaller number. They are a minority. Now, I do know black men like that. Not a lot. It's not a lot. I know maybe about 3 or 4 black men that have done things like that. And maybe like one extreme situation where I know a guy that's got like 11, 12 kids. A couple of extreme situations that I know like that. But for the most part, the black guys and the black men in my circle that I deal with on an everyday basis are not like that. They are not in that category. And although I do know black men like that, it is my assertion that is not the norm. But black men are judged on that. You never see like in Hollywood, when they depict a character, you know, straight-laced black men, there's always one extreme or another, you know. It's always, you know, they just skip right over the middle-class black male, which that's probably what there's the most of. They just skip right over that. It's either going to be the gangster, you know, the gangster guy or the gangster thug, or, you know, the hard luck story that turned himself around, or it's going to be the highly successful NFL, NBA player. That's one thing I noticed, you know, like if a black man is successful, he got to be playing in the NBA or NFL. But you look at like Hollywood shows or something like that, very rarely do you see like an investment bank, maybe a construction worker, like he owns a construction company or something like that. But maybe, you know, but for the most part, you know, I was watching a trailer and this new movie coming out, and this just show you how unoriginal people ain't even got no imagination nowadays. They are redoing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but they just named it Bel-Air. And the guy's name is Will. They didn't even change the name. I mean, it's Carlton and, you know, Carlton's sister and Uncle Phil and all that. And, but the guy that's playing Will Smith, I mean, they turned all that around. It's not even the happy-go-lucky Will Smith. It's the, you know, street dude from Philadelphia. From what I saw, he was gun toting. He got into a fight. It's pretty much the same story, but it was a lot harder. It was a lot more grungier. You know, it was a lot more grungy. So they rewriting a happy-go-lucky, you know, kid that wore fluorescent clothing into pretty much Ice Cube from Philadelphia that, you know, got caught with a gun by the police. And I mean, you have to go see the trailer. The name of the trailer is called Bel-Air. Bel-Air. You know, they changed, you know, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to a gun-toting, you know, miscreant. I mean, and that's the image of black men. If you, that's what I took from that trailer. They took it. They took that character and just flipped it all the way around. So, you know, black guys like me, or black guys that are decent, or black guys that don't get into the shit, they don't really got a place in Hollywood. You know, it's always the hard luck story, and, you know, it's always those type of guys that get shine. You know what I'm saying? And you know, middle class black, and I'm not complaining, but you would think that, I mean, most black men are, if you look at the numbers, there are middle class black dudes that don't get in no fucking trouble all the time. They are. You know, those guys that they're depicting in Hollywood, those guys are statistical minorities. You know? And, you know, I just thought I'd rant about that because, you know, nobody discerns nowadays. Every black person, you know, is like that Bel-Air shit that they coming out with. You know, the Uncle Phil. I mean, just go look at it, man. I mean, it was just all out of place. I mean, if you remember the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you look at that shit, you like, man, these people are out of their mind. They just socially engineered the Fresh Prince of fucking Bel-Air. You know, yeah, I mean, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of that show. Yeah, I mean, I just say I was indifferent. I didn't, you know, there was some episodes that were pretty cool. They were alright. You know, I wasn't all the way in on it, but, you know, come on now. We all know it was like Will Smith, happy-go-lucky. The story, he even said it in the rap. He got into one little fight, like boys do. No, not in this Bel-Air shit. He got into it with a fight and got into it with the cops. He had a pistol on him. He was pistol packing, and he ended up in Bel-Air. His uncles live in Bel-Air. Now, they did not change the names. They even got called to. They got all. It's a movie. It's called Bel-Air, and they have taken that character and thuggerized him. You know, thuggerized it. So that's all I want to talk about. Shaolin Fantastic God. I just want to, you know, put out there that I notice this stuff. I notice these things. And when I I just look around like, damn, this is some old bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But all right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm on my way to work. Peace.